Okay, let's talk about something we see every single day. The roads we drive on, the buildings we work in, even the grid that powers our phones. So much of it feels, well, kind of stuck in the past, right? Today we're going to dig into why that is and what it really takes to build a sustainable future. And it all boils down to one big question.
Why are we so often stuck fixing the past instead of actually building the future? I mean, think about it. We have the tech, we have the smarts to create amazing, resilient stuff, but for some reason, we just keep going back to the same old playbook. So why? Why are we so stuck? So to get to the bottom of this, let's look at a story. Picture this, a student intern, right? They're at the Louisiana Department of Transportation, and they get a new project. But instead of being encouraged to, innovate or come up with something new, a coworker just says, hey, just pull up an old design and modify it. Why? Because it's faster, it's cheaper, it gets the job done for now. And that one little moment, it's a perfect snapshot of a way bigger problem.
Right, so this isn't just some story about an intern summer gig. It's a dilemma, an old design dilemma that we face pretty much every time we build anything.
And this choice really lays out the core tension, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the short-term gains, it's faster, it's cheaper today. But the trade-off, the other side of that coin, is the long-term value we lose. We totally miss out on the chance to build something that's way more resilient, way more efficient, something that can last for decades to come.
And here's the really wild part. You'd think that newer buildings would automatically be better, right? More durable? Well, nope. It turns out a lot of buildings constructed in just the last 30 to 50 years have a shorter lifespan than structures from way, way back. This whole build it fast, build it cheap mindset means we're constantly having to fix and replace things, which is just a huge drain on money and resources.
So yeah, taking the easy route might feel good in the moment, but it's not just about stifling innovation. It has real, tangible costs. The high cost of easy, you could say.
32nd. Let that sink in for a second. In 2021, that's where the U.S. ranked among UN member states on making progress towards sustainability goals. 32nd. I mean, with all the resources we have, sticking with what's easy has us seriously falling behind.
Okay, before we dive deeper, let's just make sure we're all on the same page. What are we really talking about when we say sustainability? The idea is actually pretty straightforward, but it's super powerful. It's about providing for our needs today without messing things up for future generations to meet their needs. It's all about balance and thinking ahead.
And sustainability really rests on what people call the three pillars. First up, you've got the economic pillar. A well-built, lasting structure saves a ton of money in the long run and can even generate new revenue. Then there's the environmental side. Less waste, fewer repairs, and lower emissions. Simple. And finally, the social pillar. Great infrastructure can become a landmark for a community, genuinely improving everyone's quality of life. To be truly sustainable, you've got to nail all three.
All right, so that's the problem. We get it. But what's the solution? Let's switch gears and start looking at how we can actually build a better foundation, starting with smarter ways to design and construct our buildings.
So one huge step in the right direction is something called LEED certification, leadership in energy and environmental design. Think of it like the gold standard for green buildings. This isn't just about checking a few boxes to meet basic code. Oh no, it's a whole framework that pushes for real energy efficiency and using materials that are sourced responsibly.
Another game changer is prefabrication. Now this is cool. Instead of building everything out in the mud and rain on site, components are manufactured in a controlled factory setting. And the real genius of this? Waste reduction. Any scraps or unused material can be immediately recycled right there in the factory for the next project, instead of just getting tossed in a landfill.
And we can level up our smarts even more with tech like BIM. That's Building Information Modeling. Basically, it's like a hyper-detailed, super smart digital blueprint for the entire project. It lets planners figure out exactly how much material they need, how much time it'll take, which, you guessed it, slashes waste and makes the whole process way more efficient and cheaper.
But, okay, how do you get companies to actually use all these cool methods? Well, that's where policy comes in, and it can be a really powerful tool. Some states, for example, are offering tax exemptions to construction firms that meet those LEED guidelines. They're making sustainability profitable, giving companies a real, bottom-line financial reason to do the right thing. Okay, so it's not just about the buildings themselves, it's also about how we power everything. So let's shift focus to our energy grid and see how we can power it in a much smarter way.
You know how most of our electric bills work, right? It's a flat rate. You use a kilowatt hour of juice at 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, and you pay the same price. But that's not really how the grid works. Demand goes up and down. A ProRate smart bill is totally different. It's dynamic. The price you pay actually changes based on the real-time demand on the grid.
So how does that actually work for you? Well, first, you get to see the wholesale price of electricity, which updates like every 5 minutes. This lets you be smart about it. You can buy and store power when it's super cheap, like in the middle of the night. Then you actually get rewarded. You save money for easing up on your energy use during those peak times when everyone is cranking their AC.
And the beautiful thing about this kind of system is that it isn't some government mandate forcing you to do something. It's a free market approach. As the source material says, it incentivizes choices that benefit the consumer, other ratepayers, the utility itself, and the environment. It's a win-win. Win-win, really.
So it all boils down to this fantastic double whammy. You get rewarded with actual financial savings for making smart choices, and at the same time, you're helping lower the CO2 emissions per kilowatt hour. It's a system that is genuinely good for your wallet and good for the planet.
Okay, so we've got smarter ways to build. We have smarter ways to power our lives. The big question left is, how do we make all of this the norm? How do we make it the standard, not the exception?
So here's the path forward. It's about adopting those smart design principles we talked about, like LEED and BIM. It's about using efficient construction methods like prefabrication. It means embracing smart energy pricing like ProRate. And of course, you need government incentives to help push things along. But most of all, it really just requires everyone, engineers, planners, you name it, to finally decide to push past those old, tired procedures and just build better.
And that brings me to a final question for you. Just look around your own community, your town, your city. Think about the buildings, the bridges, the parks. What's that one old design that just keeps getting patched up and modified over and over again? Now imagine what it could be if we decided to stop patching the past and actually started building for the future.